Okay, we got a special episode of Rare Candy today. I'm Glenn Rockney. He's Crypto Psy, and we have Uncle Doomer from Twitter. He says,
What's
going on?
What's up?
What's up, man? At Uncle Doomer.
Welcome.
I think he's a legend personally on Twitter because I know I'll brag for you. It's fine.
Dude, I
And,
just post. It's all I do. It's
yeah.
a disease, really.
Legend posting. Yes. Yeah. No,
Mind
it's
disease.
it's good, man. So despite all this crazy stuff,
we're also on the historic Joe Biden 46th president of the election too. Yeah.
Yeah. Holy, thank you for having me on. Like,
Yeah.
Is this your first episode since election day, or
Yeah,
just
it is.
Yeah, we did
And
a
it's
free
funny.
one.
It's funny. We got started during the primaries and during COVID lockdown. Like this. We're not like strictly political by any means, but it's been like the theme of, because it's just the election year, and so you're the first one after.
No, so
announced. Yeah.
I like exhausted. Like, there's only a handful of podcasts that I can actually get through an entire episode of, and I started listening to you guys because I just I'll be working in the garage for a couple hours, and I just need a steady stream of podcasts to keep listening to. Otherwise, I default to just going on FM radio and listening. I end up listening to more fucking commercials than music, because as soon as there's a shitty song, I switch to another channel. It's like, oh, this is fucking commercials now.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah,
because I have just like a shitty old stereo in my garage, and it's so tempting to just go on radio and have them just beam ideology directly into your head.
Yes.
But you guys saved my ass, because now I added you to my podcast queue, so I'm working in the garage. You guys come up.
Oh, good. So you're not,
awesome.
for the record, you're not idling your car with the garage closed when you're listening to us, right? That's not, yeah.
I actually stopped doing that once they announced that Joe Biden was the presumptive president.
Once Biden won, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So that's a great segue. So today, I guess it's confirmed today, Joe Biden is the 46th president of the United States. I got to ask you first, Doomer, did you think he was going to win?
I did not. I had $100 on Trump.
Okay.
Fuck, me too, dude.
Yeah.
Damn.
Look, okay, it's not over yet. Here's how Biden can still lose.
Just like the Bernie threads, yeah.
But okay, so I've been watching every press conference. Here's the thing, and this is telling me that Trump is not a true fascist. Like Pelosi, Schumer, they've been fundraising on Trump being a fascist for 4 fucking years.
Yeah.
Every lib, every just screeching, person on Facebook, all your aunts, your wine aunts, they're like, Trump is a fascist. And it's like, it's not true, because if he was a fascist, he wouldn't have fucking Rudy Giuliani wiping his fucking sweat off his brow at a press conference with a fucking $300 handkerchief, saying we need legal observers in the polls. It's like Trump would just say, no, I'm the president. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are under arrest. That would be what would happen if he was an actual fascist. But they make a lot of fucking donation money by telling you that their opponent is a fascist, which I think is fucking dangerous, because after 4 years of Biden and Harris doing absolutely nothing to help people, doing nothing material for the working class, that whatever comes next is definitely going to be a fucking fascist, and people are going to be burnt out on being told that the Republican is a fascist.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's like the right hand, left hand of the ladder. Just one climbing the rungs. The next one's always like a little worse. And yeah, and it's like, come on, Trump's a fascist that has the entire media apparatus against him. Lost in a free and fair election, I guess. And all this, and it's like, what this. I think we're just so bored. We just want something, not us, but like our country just wants something to fucking focus on, right? Where we're like, oh, we beat fascism. That's cool. That's exciting.
Exactly.
Something to happen.
It's like, yeah, exactly.
Something different that breaks the fucking monotony.
No, he's the worst fascist of all time. He's terrible at it. He's
not
skilled.
I think narcissism is not fascism. That's always what I've said. It's like you can be a narcissist, which I truly believe Trump is. He always has been. Like that's what it is. But to be like, no, he's a fascism. It's like, dude, I wouldn't be able to to call Donald Trump a retard on Twitter. Like I wouldn't be able to. Like if he was truly a fascist.
He's too fun.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah.
He's too entertaining. He's I mean, yes, he's a retard, but it's like he's a very entertaining retard. He's like he's like Mr. Bean, right? He's always getting into scenarios.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've talked with so many no one will ever admit, like so many libs, like friends or whatever, that they will admit to me, because they know who I am and like the type of takes I have and shit, right? Where they will admit to me in private that they think Trump is hilarious, but they would never say that in front of like their like, core group or everything. You know what I mean? And it's pretty funny. You know, I don't know. Yeah, fascists aren't allowed to be funny like that. You know, that's come on. That's
no, it doesn't work. It doesn't exactly get your point across.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. What do you think about the whole what's the fallout from this going to be? You know, like what's the like, you know, I think he might. I've always said I'm like all these libs. I'm way more concerned about. You should be way more concerned about what he's going to do in the last 3 months or 76 days of his candidacy than him like trying to like stay in office or some bullshit. You know, I don't know. Yeah.
He could do whatever. I was talking about this on my pod. I'm hoping for some like lame duck pardons. You know what I mean? Like Ford pardoned Nixon. He was just like, yeah, whatever crimes this guy did, they're cool. He's with us.
That'd be hilarious. Yeah,
I love that.
Like if I were Trump, I would just be pardon like all the 94 crime bill black dudes in
Bobby
jail from drugs,
still in prison. All right,
Bobby Shmurda.
Bobby Shmurda, free Ted Kaczynski. That would be a goat pardon of all time.
Yeah,
like,
comes out to Bobby bitch.
Yeah, Sirhan, get his ass out of retirement.
Yeah, exactly.
Like all the greats, bring him back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it sucks. It's funny because rappers already like him more than rappers like Biden. So it's like it's like he had Lil Wayne, he had Lil Pump, Lil Pimp or whatever his name was.
I thought I dreamed that, dude. I thought I dreamed Trump accidentally calling Lil Pump Lil Pimp.
No, you sure didn't. You sure didn't. That was as clear as day. I loved it, dude. And I'm gonna miss that, dude. Because Biden, as like shitty and like also retarded as he is, it's not that fun. Like it's kind of fun, but not really.
No, because it's dementia's later stage. With Trump, it's like it's still fun, but like when you get to the point where Biden's at, this is sad. Why are you making this old man do this?
Yeah, even in the months that when it first became a meme in the early, like when Bernie was still around, and we're like, this Biden guy is like losing it. It was funny, and then you realize it's progressing and he's actually winning. You know, and you're like, oh.
You know, one of the biggest tactical mistakes that Trump made was in the debates. Whenever Biden made a gaffe, Trump should have repeated the gaffe back to him in a mocking voice. He would have wiped the floor with Biden's ass.
Yeah. Oh, let's be clear. Like Trump, like he easily could have won this thing. Like he easily he could have done like 3 things differently that it would have just that what you just said. Just do some dumb like give everyone free money type of shit, you know, and then like I don't know one other thing. I don't know what it would be.
Yeah.
I think he was shook. He was just shook. He really. Like maybe for once in his life, he felt like he was like fucking up or something. Like deep down, you know, he would never like admit it on, you know, and he didn't want to be. He hated the job. I think I don't know, but
he's been tweeting like almost like a fraction. He's been barely tweeting. You know, that's how you know that he's on a huge tilt right now. Like my man's is hurting.
Like, did you see that rally he was at where he was like, you guys got some great trucks here. Mind if I just grab one of them and drive up to Canada? I'm just trying to get away. Like I don't want to do this anymore, man. He's literally said that.
He's just like being Jesse at the end of Breaking Bad, just going up to Alaska.
Yes, El Camino. Just fucking Trump and El Camino, just cruising.
Dude, I would love that, man. I want to see him go do what, like one glorious thing, like when he ends, like on his last day. Not even a pardon, but just like his final quote. It's got to be something, man. Like it's got to be something crazy. I don't know what it's gonna be, but I think he's gonna do some kind of crazy, like I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. People say he's going to jail. He's not going to jail, but
they're not going to drag him kicking and screaming. Here's the whole thing. It's like Trump. You know, they were always chanting "lock her up," referring to Hillary Clinton, lock Obama up when they talked about Obamagate, all that shit. And like the existence of a deep state, like I don't want to speak on that shit because I think it's just a fucking pissing contest between, you know, various just insane people. But like the state apparatus will never let you prosecute a president for what he did when he was president.
No.
Because it would set an insane precedent. Because if you're objective about it, every president should get tried for war crimes. And like that means Bush, that means Obama, that means Clinton, everybody, every single one. So if Trump, you know, they're going to rehabilitate Trump, and in some corners of the most annoying parts of liberal Twitter, they're already fucking rehabilitating him. It's insane.
Did you see the I never watched Colbert, but it came across my feed. Did you see he had a weird clip where
when he cried?
Where he's like, he's like, I'm sad, like, this sucks, but he's still the president, man. He's just
that's
like,
how it was when he got COVID. When he got COVID, that's when I started seeing.
You brought that up.
They can't.
Yeah.
Look, they're like, look, like Charlotte Clymer had the tweet where, like, she was like, look, I one thing about Trump is still the president having COVID, and we wish the first lady success. But then, like 2 months ago, it was Georgia got like COVID cases. She's like, sips coffee, sips tea.
Yeah.
Like, no one's wearing masks. So it's funny. Like they don't even want him to die. That's the funniest thing.
And that's the mechanism. What you just described too that's the mechanism. We have to be able to rehabilitate even the worst president to keep the charade going.
Yeah.
And Glenn Greenwald just wrote a fantastic piece. I think I forwarded it to you. On just how by any metric Trump is by easily not the worst, like compared to Bush or anyone else, and it's like it's bars, and it's just there's just two different types of people that like know this whole thing's a sham and people that need to believe that it's true, and like or propagate it, like some like Van Jones, Rachel Maddow type of vibe or something. But it's ridiculous. It's already happening. And so many things. It's amazing what takes less than one day to flip, like the Hill saying we can go to concerts indoors now, and like the day he got elected, it's crazy, man. So I don't know. You think they give it like a week or something to start the propaganda, but it's just already happening.
And like in some respects, I mean, like the whole libs rehabilitating Trump, I don't know. It's going to be fucking weird. Like the right was rallying around how like, Democrats have spent the last 4 years saying that the election was illegitimate because of Russia, and now they're saying it's perfectly legitimate because of, whatever this time around. It's tough to really say because every election ever has been rigged. Like, I still believe that whoever becomes president is chosen in the basement of the fucking CIA, and some fucking guy who looks like the smoking man from the X-Files flips a fucking switch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
totally.
that was incredibly prescient, that show. But they're both equally bad, right? Like Trump is bad, and it's tough to really like kind of compartmentalize in your brain being happy Trump fucking lost because it's fucking hilarious watching him do the fucking virgin walk.
Yeah. It's
like
tough, dude. When he got cold the other day. Yeah, when he got cold the other day with the jacket. Oh. Yeah.
But
poor guy, man.
But also making sure that it's like my happiness at my fucking Schadenfreude at Trump does not equal happiness that Joe gets in. No, I'm not fucking stoked about Joe Biden. In fact, like, you know what fucking won the other day on November 3rd? Prop 22.
Thank you.
The Uber
you know who fucking brought you Prop 22? Kamala Harris's brother-in-law, her niece, who works for Uber.
Yes.
And she's got another fucking 3 family members. Kamala Harris's.
It's bad.
California's a crime family. You got Pelosi.
Absolutely.
I live out here. It's a crime family.
Whereabouts?
I'm in the Bay Area, like I'm right in the heart of Silicon Valley, San Jose.
God,
so I see all this shit, dude. It's scary. And when Kamala, like, nobody likes her out here. I'm telling you, like, even the people, like, even the most lived out, like, my mom was just like,
that's her district.
My mom is the most CNN. Right? What's that?
That's her district, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And she's San Francisco. San Francisco. Yeah. So, but still, I mean, we saw like everything, and everybody was just like, even my mom was like, I don't think that's the best choice. Like, my mom's like, Susan Rice would be way better. I'm like, okay.
Your mom's like ultra live and cheesy.
She mainlines like legacy media. It's and this is the best part. That's the silver lining for me, is I think she'll just stop giving a shit now. Like, she will.
Good. Yeah.
And so it's good because she's cool. Like, I have a great relationship with her. You know what I mean? Like, but she just, this whole thing, she had TDS, man. TDS reports, man. It was terrible. Like this whole time she'd bring it up. I showed her. I don't know if you guys saw the thing with the cabinet, right? With the Politico article where they're like his favorites for his cabinet. It's ridiculous, dude.
He's gonna tap fucking Dick Cheney as an advisor on foreign policy.
True? Is that true? I only saw that one guy. One guy tweet it.
I saw somebody else tweet it and then delete it. I don't know how true it is, but it doesn't even matter.
It's functionally true. It's functionally true.
Yes.
The same effect will happen. Yeah. Exactly.
John Kasich's on CNN saying Joe Biden needs to learn from the Republicans, needs to reach out to Trump voters. Yeah. The fucking Lincoln Project, went mask off day one after the election, and after taking $100 million fucking dollars is suddenly like, oh, you know what? By the way, we're not with the Democrats anymore. Now that Trump is out, we're gonna rehabilitate the Republican Party and turn it into a ruling coalition again. It's like, fuck you.
Yeah. But I agree with that. But that's not even honestly mask off, because they were always saying that it's the Dems that are just dumb fucks that believe that to begin with. It's But I agree.
They wanted to shift the goalpost. They wanted to shift the entire spectrum to the right. I kept telling everybody that. They're like, no. Rick Wilson, he had those weird Muslim tweets about Obama, but you don't know him. Like I'm just like.
But he had the Confederate flag on the cooler, dude, on his boat.
Oh yeah, he's
that's
fucking
hilarious.
Dude. Like
man.
I kept telling people, I'm like, dude, you guys would have if we had all this think piece bullshit around when he was saying all that stuff about Obama, there would have been think pieces about him and stuff, man. Like just it's weird, man. Anytime a country tries to take down just one part of anything, I'm always like, yo, that person's probably cooler than they think, whenever Trump becomes a focal point, it's like they didn't even get Mitch McConnell out, dude. Like Mitch McConnell's there. Like Amy McGrath was just a dead,
another
roadkill.
Another fucking money sink. A total fucking money pit. I'm sure it's a lot of wealthy donors, right? The Lincoln Project, Amy McGrath, Biden, whatever. They've got their billionaire donor class. But the people who are giving small donations to people like Pelosi, the Lincoln Project, Amy McGrath, it's like those people, that's who I feel that's how I feel the most bad for, because it's those people that got fucking duped, and those people that genuinely got duped into believing that a better world was possible through these fucking ghouls.
Yeah.
And they gave their hard-earned money that money actually matters to them. Whereas some fucking insanely wealthy donor who runs a fucking pedophile ice cream company, it's like $1 million is chump change to them.
Nothing. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Those pedophile ice cream, that's a cash cow. Pedophile ice cream.
It reminds me of when Warren was peaking in She bragged about, she's like, I just met this college student. She said she went into overdraft, giving me her last $3 to my campaign. And she was bragging about it and shit.
Oh, that was so funny. Shit? Oh my God. I know. Yeah. Which isn't true, because all Warren supporters are rich. So
I know.
That's not true. Maybe your weird account that you only sign up for streaming services with or something.
Yeah.
No, the amazing thing about Warren's coalition is that she was able to get, a solid, not a winning coalition or even a third, fourth place coalition in most of the primary states, but enough people that she would actually be considered a contender by only appealing to people who have the title creative director.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, he had said Sai had said on our other episode where it's we were talking about PMC people. It's half of their jobs are just glorified school projects, anyways.
Yeah,
maybe group projects, walking around a warehouse with a laptop, you know what I mean?
Oh,
your time was a little low here.
Yeah, they're the cringe leader they get all excited about the group project, and everyone else is just can we just fucking finish this? Can you do it? You do it. I'll go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you have to do everything.
They watched West Wing and they were like, how can I get a career just doing walk and talks? How can I for the rest of my entire life be walking around a maze of cubicles talking to another person and never actually do any work, never even make and I'm not I am very, very against the fucking make work program that is marketing and sales and all this bullshit. But at least there are people who do actual work, and there are also the people that they spend their entire time just kind of saying, okay, well, we need to shift the branding strategy and a bunch of fucking buzzwords. Yeah. Those are the kind of people who are honestly in control of a lot of the left right now.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so bear with me, guys. All right, the left, right? This whole post-left thing. I don't want to talk about fucking post-left versus left. It's all a bunch of fucking bullshit Twitter skirmishing. It's
faction. You got your head screwed on straight with this shit.
But just the left, right? In this country, you have people who are well, I fucking I wish the workers owned the means of production. All right, they're over here, and then over here is everybody who is perceived to be part of the left. And I mean everybody from fucking Rashida Tlaib to Nancy Pelosi to the Chapos to Nathan J. Robinson, whatever. They're all the left, right?
Yeah.
There needs to be something. And it's you can't, it's tough because ideologically they're just further left. If you are trying to separate yourself from those centrists, right? Ideologically, you're just further left. But what do you call yourself to separate from that? Because in the eyes of the average American, the left is everybody from fucking the most, epic fucking Maoist, Marxist, whatever, to Nancy Pelosi. And
Joe
then
Biden.
Exactly.
Radical leftist Joe Biden. Yes.
Yeah.
That's so funny, man. Yeah.
No, that's beautiful. You go ahead. Yeah.
No. I was gonna pivot to his cabinet. So if you go ahead and say something on that while I pull it up.
Well, yeah, I just think, and there's this huge, like you said, we don't have to speak on it, but there's a huge argument between everyone's talking about the cultural left, but there's no left. What did we win? Okay, we got $15 minimum wage in Florida, and Oregon decriminalized all drugs. I feel like those are the two.
Left about culture.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The culture war has been the biggest fucking energy sink for any sort of like working class movement. For the past fucking 40 years, and it's on purpose. I mean,
we had the largest mass protests in pretty much almost human history with the George Floyd thing. Like nothing came of it. There's no policy concession. There's nothing.
Yeah, just Derek Chauvin got a second-degree murder, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's because it's Black Lives Matter, not Black Workers Matter, and that's on fucking purpose.
God damn.
What do you think about the whole? I've just seen this a lot lately. The whole well, two things that like Latinx people that voted for Trump aren't real Latinx, and B, that the working class is a dog whistle for white supremacy,
that was incredible.
They're bringing back one of the hits. That's one of the hits from 2016, Wrecking Bernie.
That's like the Jezebel magazine type shit. Yeah,
that's like the greatest hits album you buy at Target when you're on like vacation and you got a rental car with a CD player. You're like, oh, let's pump
that 20. That 20 essentials.
Essentials. Dude, 20th century.
Honestly, seeing that take where they're just like, if you even mention working class, if you even mention class, you mean white people. You are a white supremacist racist if you bring up the working class, because when Bernie says it, he means the white working class. That's and Bree Newsom Bass, who posted that today, said white. She put white in brackets, and I was just thinking, okay, this bitch is talking about Bernie Sanders using brackets because she can't use triple parentheses. But it's like that kind of shit. And then, God, it's fucking miserable because the blue checks control the narrative, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's
always like 250K minimum media jobs types that are saying this shit too, that have never dirtied a dish in their single life, right?
No.
Or like,
but I gotta say, seeing Bernie brought up in that way, it made me a little bit nostalgic for 2016.
Oh yeah.
Like what the fuck was on the radio in 2016? Right? Was it?
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I'm thinking like, God damn, I don't even know. It's not like Redbone. That was a couple years ago. Not like
even just like pre-COVID, right?
Yeah.
Like 2016, like shit was fucked up and weird, but at least we weren't like being quote unquote quarantined for our better interests.
Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah! No, I see exactly what you're saying. I was just laughing. I just wanted to bring this up real fast. So I was reading the Politico article of the favorites for Joe Biden's cabinet. So this is an all-star team, Harlem Globetrotters, if you will. This
heavy hitters.
Yeah, heavy hitters. No, murderers row, man. So you got Doug Jones, Secretary of State Susan Rice. Apparently she's the front runner. And then so I bet you that would have been either Kamala Harris as Secretary of State or VP. I think they would have switched the two, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And then you have Attorney
General. Do you
General.
remember when they were talking about Condoleezza Rice?
Yeah.
For Biden's cabinet?
Yes, of course. Colin Powell was speaking at the DNC. Everybody forgets.
Yeah.
It's like,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know. It's like they were taking it back to 2004, dude. They were trying to and I think we are going to. Yeah. And Doug Jones as AG, he just lost to a college football coach.
I think you should stick to music. Look, it's not unusual. One of the best songs of all time.
Doug Jones? Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, exactly. Was that Tom Jones? Yeah, there you go.
Oh, fuck, you're right, Tom.
No, I was like, Doug Jones. I was like, he didn't have that lame of a name, did he? It's not unusual. Yeah, but so I don't know who Michelle Luan Grisham is. I think that's John Grisham's wife.
What's HHS? Is that
healthcare?
Okay.
Health and Human Services. Look, you see Elizabeth Warren anywhere here?
No. And my mom was like, no. New York Times. New York Times L.
Who do we see though? Young Pete. For Veterans Affairs.
Fucking Warren, and Klobuchar were both promised either the VP role or a cabinet position.
Yep.
And it will be so fucking funny to me if either of them get shit.
Yeah,
also,
I think
horrifying that Pete is anywhere near the White House.
It's our concession prize. It's our concession prize for getting
stuff that fucking herb in a locker.
Yeah.
Meg Whitman for commerce, the lady who just lost Quibi, who was the CEO of Quibi, that just went down the fucking shitter, dude.
Yeah,
I just was laughing because I was DMing Alex G about this, our last guest. I was like, Meg Whitman. I just remember from the eBay days and her failed governor run in California. And then she goes, wasn't she the CEO of Quibi? I was like, oh my god, like, L. This is just that fucking list of L's, dude. Like over here. I don't know who the other people. Eric Garcetti too, Captain Lockdown of LA. So
no, dude, hold up. I don't mean to pause you. I just ran out of beer. Do you mind if I run to the other
go.
Grab another beer?
All right, beer, dude.
I'll be on mute for a second.
Yeah,
no problem.
It's a pro beer pod.
Yeah, we're pro beer. No, so but the Garcetti, dude, Garcetti, the guy who was going to deny utilities.
That's the mayor?
Yeah, he was the one that was going to cut off utilities to like people having parties for COVID, like during
Los
COVID.
Angeles, right?
Yeah, Los Angeles, the city of angels. He's the Secretary of Transport. Department of like DOT. Like, what are you doing? You just making truck drivers piss into a cup? Like, I don't know. Like, I think that's kind of a bullshit category, personally.
I just gotta interject. Wouldn't it be funny if they like capitalized trans? They're like Department of Trans.
Department of Trans and then XXX. Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, exactly. So I could see that, and then dude, fucking Meg Whitman, dude. Like, Meg Whitman is the ultimate L, dude. Like, I'm sorry, like just literally had a company that had like billions of dollars funneled into it to compete with Netflix, compete with Hulu, and it's like it's a whole thing of failing upward, dude.
I know, dude.
The whole thing of failing upward. This whole entire scenario.
Now you're one of the most powerful people in the government, basically. Yeah. It's crazy.
For what? You've done nothing. Like, I mean, you've made money, sure, and like that commerce, right? I mean, that is what you're supposed to do. But it's like, how can you hate on Donald Trump, right? Who's like, oh, failed businessman. Remember the steaks, the airlines, and all that stuff. Failed businessman. And then you're like, no, we're gonna replace Meg Whitman's got
get
this.
in here. Yeah, exactly. And on that point, this is like literally Joe's like fourth crack at it, and he like literally is a failed candidate 3 times.
Yeah. So didn't Joe have an aneurysm like one time or something like back in the?
Yeah, his fucking brain doctor had to be like, Joe's brain is functioning at a completely normal level.
Yeah, I've seen that. Like, I already think they unplugged the charger, dude. I think it's Kamala time. Kamala time.
I was gonna bring up.
Not doubt that.
Where can you get a bet on whether he lasts to election or to inauguration or not?
There's props, I'm sure.
What's the odds on that? And
I don't know.
And and what are we talking like before if it doesn't happen, like I just said, what are we talking? 1 year, 2 years before they install Kamala, or like, and also before the Iran thing, before.
He's not going to last, right? Like a dude like that, like look at him physically.
Yeah.
Like his skin is glass.
Oh, yeah, he's nursing home status, dude.
His bones are probably glass too.
He's like Uncle Junior. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so fucking sad.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the Corvette video?
Yeah.
Oh, classic. Yeah,
sure. Where they tried to make him like seem like a cool old grandpa.
Yeah.
Like how I cannot fucking imagine a world in which I would feel safe within like a quarter mile of Joe Biden behind the wheel of an automobile.
Dude, I work in road construction, dude. Like, no joke. I work in road construction. That dude is going to drive into like a 12-foot trench, like rip up all the shoring, water line. And it's some old guy standing outside like, this street didn't used to look like this. And then, you know what I mean? Like,
what's the line? What's the line from that video? He's like, God, my dad sure could drive, man. He's like, my dad could drive. He could drive a car, man. I swear to God.
My father was able to operate an automobile.
My mother was not allowed to. My father could really operate a car. Yeah.
Did you see the dog tweet? Somebody was like, I'm so glad there's going to be dogs in the White House again. And it's just it's Joe Biden with 2 German Shepherds.
Yeah, police dogs.
Can you think of a dog that was more emblematic of just like tearing protesters and
fascism? Yeah, exactly. Apart? Yeah, Nazi Germany.
It's fucking sick them, you know?
Yeah. And I heard they're rescue dogs though, so.
They didn't rescue. Joe didn't rescue them. They rescued him.
Dude, it's dope.
Right.
I love dogs, but it's dope. It's dope that Trump didn't have a dog. He's just like, nah, I'm just not gonna have
this, dude. Yeah, I could just see him. I could see Trump just like having like. Can you imagine if they made they put the dogs in early and like Trump's still there, like put the German shepherds. That's what I would do if I was Biden. I'd like make the dogs live there first before Trump was there. And then you see Trump just having a lint roller, just like rolling hair off him, and oh, this is terrible. These fucking dogs.
It would be really funny if like Trump wasn't just one of the first or one of the only presidents without a dog. He was also like the first president who's instead a cat person.
Yeah.
Because he's so fucking. He's like I mean, there was the whole discourse about Trump being like an unofficial, like a messy gay, like a drama queen kind of guy, like a gay guy. And it's just like it would be so fucking funny if Trump was just like the first unabashed cat person president.
Yeah,
he should have leaned into it. That'd have been sick.
Or if he was hell inspired by watching Tiger King on Netflix, and he just got a fucking tiger up in there. He's
exotic animals. That would be sick. Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. So one thing I wanted to like say is the like what I wasn't super online in 2016. Like I was online, but it was more so on like a Facebook. Like I knew everybody I was talking to. You know what I mean? It wasn't just like random guy from Connecticut calling me a bitch and stuff like that. It was kind of in 2016 were this many people like. Oh no, but were this many people like going caping like on the left caping for Biden like over Trump on like harm reduction? You know what I mean? Or like I guess Hillary, right? But caping for Hillary over.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, were they? Okay.
It's always been like that. That's the thing, because I think that a lot of people who describe as leftists are in varying stages of their understanding of the difference between being leftist and being liberal, or just being somebody who does not believe in the just bourgeois politics, right? They're in varying states of exiting that, because like you see it on Twitter now, where like even like big media figures, bread tubers, are like, it's harm reduction to vote for Biden, and it's like, but you also see it on your fucking timeline, and it's not everybody. You have to think about it, because not everybody is exposed to the same amount of media, or is even exposed to the same media as you. So like you could be even talking to somebody who identifies as a socialist, but it's like they identify as a socialist because they think like being a socialist is like protesting outside Trump Tower with a pussy hat on, and they think that's what social, because it's like, and so to me, I think this election was very similar, although I think it was the libs were a lot more cowardly this time, because they in the 11th hour, so many fucking supposed leftists cucked for Biden. So many of them were just like, come on,
building a brand off of like being like anti-Biden too, like people that were like, you know what I'm saying, like a bunch of followers, like, oh, I'll never vote for this guy, fuck that Tara Reid, I believe Tara Reid, and then they're like, yeah, but here's the thing, like Trump is a fascist, and that's what I thought. I think the whole narrative of Trump being a fascist was to get leftists, like real leftists.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying, like the Antifa, the
political buzzword.
No, I'm talking about the guys that like in the very last minute were like, you know what, it'll be easier to build communism under Joe Biden. It's like, shut up.
No, we talk about that all the time. The weird connection between like, I identify as like a hardcore communist, and we got to get Biden in there. It's such a fucking weird. It's like
sickle bros. Man.
There's the most ardent pro-Biden people are like these fucking communists. I'm like, what is going on right now? Dude?
And then you get people like me, who I'm just a fucking sports guy, and I'm just like, I'm never voting for that guy. You know? What I mean?
Yeah, dude.
It's like, what the?
And it's crazy. One thing I do think we have to keep in mind, like one thing I was thinking about, like there's definitely a difference between being a public figure, like like we were all talking about, and like caving for Biden at any point during even if it's a day before or whatever, and I have like, I don't know, I'm not like the leftist dude that's like ultra hating on like Crystal Ball all the time and shit. Like I know who they are, I'm like,
Crystal Ball's based. All right.
Yeah. She's cool.
She's a based mainstream media queen.
She's like that cool chick in high school that like says fuck you to all the mean girls, and is still cool, she's like that.
So ask the nerdy kid to dance like one time, what I mean? You're just like,
she's cool. Not like amazing, but like she at least knows what's up.
I just know like I don't pretend she's anything that she's not, and I like hate these leftists that are just like so I don't know. Like we probably are
like Michael Brooks, like he's dead and he's gonna vote for, but he would have voted for Biden. It's like,
exactly.
oh, okay, all right,
yeah,
like, he's
yeah,
fucking
dude.
dead. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I mean,
but what I'm saying is that there's all these public figures that talk about voting for Biden or whatever. But I think we saw Trump's minority numbers increase so dramatically.
Insane.
Yeah. And it's insane.
The only group that voted less
white
for
dudes.
him was white men. So
what's up? We're trying to save the day.
You're welcome.
Yeah, exactly.
Welcome. Yeah.
No, but what I'm saying, there's so many people. We're
white X, man.
Yeah. No, and look, we all have like lib tendencies in our past, you know. So what I'm saying is like, in private,
I walked out of the womb with a copy of fucking.
Yeah, dude.
My mom was a Marxist Leninist. Like, you imagine how shitty your childhood would be if your mom was a Marxist Leninist. Like,
my folks are like your typical fucking working class. Like, we will vote for whoever lowers our taxes. That I think is a really important perspective, because that's who the majority of Americans vote for.
Because American taxes are bullshit.
That's right.
Why? Yeah, no, I think, exactly.
I think this shit definitely broke a lot of people's brains, and like I think a lot of people in private will never admit that they're like, this is going to radicalize a lot of people left, not in the way that people say like we're going to push Biden to the left or anything, but just culturally we're like, we've been through so much. Just think about it. We all locked down and we're all online on Twitter for like 8 months, just looking at the craziest takes and seeing all the shit fly back and forth.
Yeah.
And so I do think that this will have a positive effect, not for the reason people say it will, you know, but we saw, you know, Pelosi like fail to do a stimulus deal in the midst of a pandemic, right? And all this crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I think this red pilled a lot of people is what I'm saying, even if they won't fully admit it and they're pretending to celebrate now under Biden or whatever. Yeah. Sorry, my cat's like eating on the mic right now, but
your cat's name is Pelosi. People don't know that.
I love that. My dog will just do the same shit. Just like sit on your fucking neck.
Oh yeah. They try to dominate you. They try to alpha you. They're like, yeah, what's up? Like, I'm up here too. What do you want?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like dogs don't realize they're doing that. Cats are 100 fucking percent doing that.
He'll wake me up. Yeah, he'll wake me up at like 4 or 5 a.m. every day, like snuggling and cuddling and purring and stuff. And then he's like, all right, it's time to eat. And he'll just shove like his ass in my face. So literally just like sit on my face and be like, it's time, bro. Get up.
It's ass eating season, brother.
Exactly.
What do you want?
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, sorry to get us back on track, guys. But the, I thought it was weird because I remember, like, for me, I was thinking, I don't mind when, like, we all have like lib friends, like IRL, right? Like we have like lib friends that are just like, I'm voting for Biden. Like, you know what I mean? Whoever it is.
That's why I'm not even on Facebook. Like the few fucking like group texts that I'm in with libs, I'm just like, no, I think I think he's out, but it'll be a tough road ahead.
I love the small talk, dude. Yeah.
I'm just not even gonna I'm not even gonna go there. But I'll just send a text like saying like, yep, you know, I'm here with y'all.
That's beautiful, dude.
That's exactly how I do. My mom will do the same thing. She's like, having a mimosa. He finally got it. And
I was gonna ask. Yeah, I'm in a group. Same thing. I'm in a group chat now with some housemates, and they're like popping champagne at 8:45 a.m.
Yeah, which they've been doing all quarantine. Everybody turned into like all those libs are alcoholics now, and they're like 40 pounds overweight because of quarantine. And it's funny because like this. Do you guys think the lockdowns are gonna end? Like,
I think they're gonna get worse.
Oh,
really? Okay.
I talk about this all the time. Lockdown was a test run for what the next 10 years are going to look like. Get ready.
We'll dig into that because I might disagree, but I want to know where you're coming from with like. No, I agree with the take that it is a trial run for what's to come.
Yeah.
But like.
Okay, so I'm going to try and find this op-ed that I read, but there was an op-ed that I read. I'm not going to be able to find it, but
that's okay.
They were talking about how the lockdowns have been so successful in reducing emissions, reducing like carbon and stuff like but they've been so successful because like a lot of natural stuff has been doing a lot better. Like a lot of nature, animals, plants, whatever.
That's hilarious.
So
nature's healing.
I genuinely think that within the next decade, possibly under a Biden-Kamala presidency, you'll see the idea of climate lockdowns being floated. Like
I think I heard you talking about this.
Where it's like the whole thing about like liberalism is you are responsible for your own problems. It's society hasn't failed you. You have failed society.
Individualism, it's like a kind of
liberalism is repackaged bootstrap shit. It's when your mom tells you to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, right?
Change your light bulbs, go to low flow toilets and shit like that. Yeah,
exactly. So now you are responsible for climate change. It's not billionaires who, have companies that are spilling fucking hundreds of thousands of gallons of oil into the sea, or
U.S. military, which is like 40% of all emissions.
And then and they'll tell you like, oh, you could get an electric car. Or, oh, that's another fucking thing. Biden is going to bring back cash for clunkers. You know what the fucked up thing about cash for clunkers is? It takes old cars off the road. They specifically disable them. They run fucking silica gel through the engine so the engine sees. So none of those parts are even able to be used to keep other cars running. It's a program, takes advantage of poor people that need money for their shitty old cars. It gets them new auto loans so they owe more money to banks. And then at the end of the day, the people who care about keeping old cars running care about sustainability. Like
that's crazy. I didn't know any of this. Damn. Yeah.
It's off unbelievably because people are all like, oh, cash for clunkers is a great way for poor people to get some money. It's like, look at the motivation behind that, right? Yeah. They want you indebted to a bank for a new car. And guess what? That new car is going to last you 5 years before it starts shitting out.
Yeah, because plastic piece of shit. Yeah.
Planned obsolescence. And especially if it's electric, the carbon footprint of electric cars is insanely shitty.
Lithium batteries, definitely.
Well, it's just the production,
of alone. Bolivia again.
Yep.
Yes, there we go. That's full circle.
And that's the Kamala connection to Elon Musk and tech and
that's right.
Oh god, she's the fucking worst.
But I don't disagree with any of that. And I didn't know that about the cars and versus Cuba, where they're keeping their like 50s Chevy Bel Airs like pimping for like 80 years later, basically. Right? Yeah, it's like,
I'm in like every Facebook car group. And I just want to do like a vacation to Cuba and just like take pictures of cars there.
Oh yeah,
my friend did that, dude. It's fucking bad. Not like car. They just were in the pictures, and I'm like, dude, is that a fucking like 1940 like something car?
Yeah.
Could sell it for like 80 grand here.
Guys doing donuts in it and shit. Fuck yeah, dude.
But I do think in the short term, the COVID narrative will shift like pretty rapidly because it has been overblown and they have oversold it, and it is lib pandemic for sure. And I think that they are gonna, they've been the evidence is out there that we can stop lockdowns and everything. And I think they're going to start to slowly trickle truth, release that shit, or not so slow, to kind of equate in people's brains like a Pavlovian dog thing, like Biden wins, things get better, good kind of thing, even if it is temporary, right? And that's my take, at least. I think they're going to start doing that. Like that concert shit you sent me, like the day I got elected, it's like, oh, we could maybe start going to concerts again.
And it was Kid Rock on the thumbnail.
I know, dude.
Wild. Yeah, it's like Kid Rock has been dying, dude. He's been selling out arenas. Yeah.
Who the fuck is going to Kid Rock shows, dude?
Yeah.
I know.
Trump voters.
No, and guess what? But also they wouldn't stop. They wouldn't fucking stop anyways, dude. Kid Rock's going to still do a 20,000 person fucking show because with no mask, they're going to be like, fuck it, I don't care because I want to enjoy my life. Yeah. Like, that's the funniest part about that.
Did you see the Chris Hayes tweets where it's like separated by like 2 hours, where he's like, I'm so sick of this COVID shit. It needs to stop. Like, we need to stop doing this shit. And then like later he's like, all right, people are dancing in the streets. Have fun, guys. Just like wear a mask maybe. And, like, celebrating.
Dancing in the streets. Did you guys fucking see in New York City, there was like a video of people stomping on Cheetos?
Yes. I saw Drew post that.
They were stomping on fucking like puffed up Cheetos in the streets, like
a Trump thing.
Okay.
Yeah. They're killing. They were puffs. They were not crunchy. They were puffs.
Celebrate the loss of Donald Trump. All right, but do not fucking denigrate my snack foods.
No.
Right? I would eat that shit. That's a fucking waste. There are people.
I'll snort that shit. I'll snort that shit off the crushed ones, man.
There are stoned people with the fucking munchies that could use those snack foods right now in Africa.
Exist.
All right,
we exist.
Yeah.
And no, I was laughing because you're talking about the climate lockdown. I think is really interesting because I remember when the lockdowns first started and we weren't quite him and I weren't quite as scared of them yet. We were kind of like, all right, it's kind of like a month. We'll see what happens. Like But I remember thinking like, man, maybe they will do something like that. Like, here's a week off from work, pay, everybody stay inside. I'm just like thinking now, like, okay, Earth Day becomes Earth Month, right? And then it's like Kamala Harris does the Training Day scene with the shotgun in the bathtub to you and shit like that. They're like, stay inside, motherfucker. Like, I don't know, man. This shit would be crazy. I think you guys are both a little bit right. I think the COVID thing will go, but I think lockdowns are now the precedent, though.
No, totally. No, and they had this shit planned. This is like a 5-year plan they were working on for probably longer, but like with the Gates thing and everything, and it's a whole.
Think who stood to benefit most from a lockdown, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Jeff Bezos, everything he sells is delivered right to your door. And he gets an exception for his essential workers. They're not included in the lockdown. They have to leave the house to go to work.
Yeah, heroes, dude, heroes. I mean,
Main Street. Every time you it's been fucking 20 years of this shit. Every time you see a shop closed down on Main Street America, that's Walmart, whatever.
Yeah,
it's accelerated to an insane degree. Restaurants, all that shit is going. It's just trickle up. For all of lockdown, and that's beneficial to the ruling class, right? I mean,
it's just pure capitalism too. Like literally, it's the defining
authoritarian capitalism. That's what it is.
There's no argument there. But the stuff that I was talking about like it is your individual responsibility to stop this systematic problem of climate change, right? I don't want to get super dark because we're nearing the end of the episode, and I hate when podcasts end on a downer ending. But like the end goal of neoliberalism is you don't own anything. You don't own your home. You don't own your car. You don't have personal transportation.
It's all an app based. Yeah, it's all fucking
rented. It's all gig economy. Yeah. And you are perpetually a fucking. I mean, like, we don't have the technology to put people in matrix pods. So instead of that, we have to harvest people's fucking human energy by making them part of the gig economy. Yeah, that's the end goal of the lockdowns.
And they tell you you're an independent contractor to empower you to not vote for things like vote against Prop 22 because like, no, look, you're your own business, man. Yeah. You can do your own hours, do all this kind of stuff. Like, I guess because I remember with the thing with Uber, and that's why that reminded me of that, is like in the Bay Area, they basically, it's like some weird like libertarian thing that they make you think you do, but then they own everything you do. It's the weirdest thing. Yeah. And they'll have you
on it.
Yeah, exactly. So what they'll the shit that makes me laugh is like, I remember, I think it was actually in New York, there was an Uber driver that got sued for not having like a wheelchair ramp on his car, like one of those crazy like lift gate things on the side of the van.
That's
like,
hilarious.
This guy's got like a fucking 07 Town and Country or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
so it was him personally that got sued and not Uber.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, because you're an independent contractor. Oh, my Lord. You take on the liability. That's how
that's insane.
That's hilarious.
That's why they do this. It's not even a wage thing. That's what people don't realize. It is a wage thing but the thing is, Uber likes not having a product. You know what I'm saying? They don't have a product. I even heard Chris Sacca, who was on Shark Tank, and I heard him on Bill Simmons' podcast talking about that, where he's like, dude, I got in on Uber because I'm like, dude, we make so much money and there's no fucking product. Yeah. Like you run your car down to the floor. Exactly. So you're an independent contractor and pass liability on you whenever they want.
Yep. Yeah. It's funny. It's funny because it's literally what people are scared of communism, the worst parts of communism, about having like one central authority just like controlling everything, but everyone else just working under that. You know, it's kind of like it's analogous to that, I feel. I don't know, but it's just
absolutely,
like,
dude.
Yeah,
the gig economy is everything they warned you about communism. Exactly. You won't even own your own fucking toothbrush.
Yeah, dude.
It's happening. It's happening fucking here. That's okay. All right, you guys want to go on a fucking hypothetical journey?
Let's go.
Yeah,
let's go.
Everything that the left like talks about, everything that they're like, well, this is bad and this is good, right?
Right.
It's all happening under capitalism.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So if you say that, like, I don't know, a gig economy worker getting fired because they didn't put a wheelchair ramp on their car, like, that's good because that gig economy worker was ableist.
Right? That was the narrative too.
Fire his ass, right? Yeah. It's still fucking happening. It's happening under capitalism.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the system under which that happens determines whether it's good or bad. It's not the individual act.
Yeah. Good call. Have you seen the Uber billboards? If you're, it's basically
shit?
if you're like, no, it's like if you're a racist, just delete our app right now.
yeah, dude.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
God. I love that.
That's awesome, dude.
And I deleted it.
Yeah.
But
Good.
yeah, I'm drunk driving, dude. We're gonna all drunk drive. You were drunk driving for Joe.
Right.
That was we're gonna drunk drive now. It's solidarity.
Yeah.
It's praxis.
That's no, I'm a big proponent of drunk driving. I like, your limits, right? You can have a couple beers, throw one in the cup holder, just sip it. Don't be like housing
throw it in the gas tank.
That's your pin tweet,
dude.
isn't it? That's your pin tweet. That I'm you said not, I'm not grill pilled. I'm cup beer in the cup holder pilled or something like that.
You gotta get where you're going. Why not get there with a beer? Right?
Hey.
Yeah, exactly.
Don Draper, right?
Yeah.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. And I think it's funny because like they do that with DoorDash too, where like some person with like 10 different, hashtags in their bio will be like, unbelievable. DoorDash would not scale my fire escape and deliver it to me because I have chronic fatigue and all that kind of, it's like, all right, man. Yeah. You conquered capitalism there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? By firing, like you're doing that was your tweet with the Jacobin article about firing workers that are racist, doing the work of capital, right? That was like kind of your thing. You're doing the work of capital. And that was what we liked so much. We did.
That was some of the worst Twitter discourse I've ever seen.
Your response to that is not immediately like, this is exactly what I would expect for somebody reading the fucking CIA simple sabotage manual sent him. Or okay, like Kamala Harris's niece is, I'm pretty sure her title is the diversity coordinator for Uber. All right.
Cool.
Like,
yeah.
Diversity, right? Like it's important. It's what makes America America, because like, my fucking ancestors came over, they were dirt fucking poor, and like people of color's ancestors came over and they were dirt fucking poor and they got treated shittier. And like diversity at face value is important, and you should also take into account that people got treated fucking shittier because of the color of their skin or where they came from, right? But the diversity coordinator at $1 trillion fucking company,
Uber,
there is no way that person is not doing fucking the most ghoulish shit imaginable.
Yeah, totally.
Yes. No, I have a story, like I've told it on here. I was a temp, like an independent contractor. That's why this shit makes me so mad. The Prop 22. I was an independent contractor at a big tech company. I won't say which one, but it's one that has a search bar. Let's say that much. And and a rainbow lettering.
Ask Jeeves is what it is.
Yeah. I worked at Ask Jeeves. Yeah. It was a booming business. Yeah.
Jeeves.
I was
like
Jeeves.
okay, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so I was there. And so we tried to unionize because we're all on 2-year contracts. And we're like, look, dude, like this is this company. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, why can't we do this? Like, well, they would serve beer on Fridays at this company, serve beer. And then they would have white badges for people that were permanent employees and red badges for people that have that were temps. So I'd walk in and I'd like, oh, cool, Sierra Nevada, like that, and pop that open. They go, what the fuck, man? Like the guy, they'd be like, oh, red badge, get out of here, dude. So we tried to unionize. We got the Teamsters involved, right? Tried to get them involved. Won the election, like crushed it. The same way Prop 22 passed, that's how we won the election.
Hell yeah.
And so crushed it. Oh yeah, hell yeah. And then until this company takes us to court, just drags it out for our contracts to be done. They had a lesbian black woman go on there and say, they called me gay or something because I didn't want to join, or because I voted no on the union. Boom. Like right then and there. They appealed it. They didn't even win the appeal. It just dragged on long enough to where the soldiers, like the real, power of the movement of the thing, all got canned because their contracts were done and the union wasn't officially submissive. So I had that used again. That Jacobin article stuck out to me when I saw you tweeting. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? That's exactly what this is.
It's like if somebody is blasting the N-word at a black coworker, it's like, no shit. Okay.
Yes,
like
nuance.
Everybody is just gonna be like, oh, fuck that guy. But if it's like, if somebody does like a Michael Scott kind of thing and they're not a manager, but they just do like a fucking non sequitur and somebody is like shrieking for them to be fired, it's like you can't side with the fucking boss and call yourself woke. All right.
Yeah. And when the definition of everything has changed so like where you have Rob and D'Angelo doing fucking seminars all across the country.
Yeah.
And like, you're like, we're gonna fire you for racism, and you can't not be racist, so you're in a pickle there. It's like one of those things. It's
you're
like
irredeemable.
Irredeemable.
Every Trump voter is irredeemable. You don't need to fucking examine the reasons why Trump got elected. They're all garbage people. You're a garbage human if you voted for Trump. It's like
plot.
Yeah, AOC said that the other day.
Yeah. Was she like? We need to keep track of all these people.
Yeah.
She's like, oh my god, dude.
Yeah. Keep
on
track.
one hand, I think it's important to keep track of media people who are complicit in manufacturing the consent, not just for Trump, like the Lincoln Project fucking psychos.
Screenshot that shit.
On the left, the fucking people who cut for Biden in the last minute. And they were like, oh, yeah, you know what, just fucking vote for Biden. It's harm reduction. Those people need to be fucking just, you know, reminded of that at every turn, right? Yeah. But if you don't have institutional power, you don't have a fucking blue check mark. It's like, what the fuck is somebody saying like this person needs to be blacklisted for the rest of their lives because they were so fucking pissed off at the system that offered them nothing.
And they voted. They literally just voted. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And like I said, dude, like we've talked about it here. Not every Trump supporter is fucking MAGA. Not every Trump supporter has a fucking red hat with a flag. Most aren't, dude. Like it's not that case.
Just want lower taxes.
Yeah, lower taxes, and they're like, dude, this fucking I'd poll. They don't say I'd poll, but they're like the PC bullshit. They're like, this is bullshit. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're like, this is bullshit. I don't get what happens from it. And it's okay. Where's the lie? I mean, they might not have the right solution to it, but that's not a wrong diagnosis. And
I think that at the end of the day, it's like the Democrats have nothing to offer. So fuck it. Like there's people that are just like, well, the Democrats aren't offering me anything, so I just rather blow up the system. Those are the Trump voters that we're talking about. Not some fucking guy with like an SS 1488 tattoo. All right.
Correct. Yeah, correct. Not a neo-Nazi. Well, okay, guys, it's been fun because I think we all want to get out of here now. So it's it's pretty good. I got some stuff I got to tend to. Doomer, I really appreciate you joining us, man.
This was awesome. This was so fun. This did not feel like even an hour. Like this flew by.
No, let's make it a semi-regular.
Yeah, no, hey man, you come on whenever you want, dude. Whenever some shit happens, dude, you let me know, dude. We'd love to.
Hell yeah,
because it's fun. We just had our first guest 2 weeks ago. Like we're not even used to having guests, so I hope that we weren't weird and shit like that. But we were weird.
No. Well, I hope you're not on psychedelics right now because
they'll kick in eventually. That's why I gotta go. Yeah, they're gonna kick in. So yeah, I'm macro dosing today, but anyways, so you can follow him on Twitter at Uncle Doomer, right? I got that right.
That's right. And I'm
your
on,
podcast.
I'm on Beep Beep Lettuce.
It was
the stupidest, terriblest name. It was funny when we made it. We talk about everything from weed to memes. Weed won big in a bunch of states. A bunch of states where like they're all like B-list states where like nobody actually cares about what happens in them. But
What states were the main ones that were this round?
Arizona, New Jersey.
Oh, Arizona, yeah.
So
AZ rocks, dude. I know.
Thank you for having me on.
No,
of course.
Dude, anytime, man. No, I appreciate it, and like I said, we'll do it again sometime. And yeah, so he's Crypto Psy, CRYPTOPSI. I'm at Glenn Rockney. This is Rare Candy Pod at Rare Candy Pod 1. Follow us, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and this is the election wrap up / Prop 22 / bullshitting. That's what we were doing. So right on, Doomer. That's it for us.
Peace out, dudes.
All right, guys.